because so what I want to say might be useful for you on two accounts. Okay.
Okay.
Let's just go through this. Can I share the screen now?
Can. Okay, so I'll stop share.
Okay. It's best to begin by looking at the assignment. Okay.
Wow.
So with any assessment, it's best to kind of look at the questions and what it is asking you and making sure that you adhere to it so that you don't need to do anything more than that. You just adhere to the question that's being asked. So the first thing is the video essay is in fact asking a critical review. So the critical review must show breadth and depth of reading in terms of past research in this area that you have chosen to problematize. And the area that you have chosen to problematize is the burden of peripheral literature. I feel like it has a nice tone to it, a kind of nice sound of it. The title itself, that you may even consider to pursue this later as a publication, but that's later. So the issue at hand is you want to look at how world literature kind of is being problematized, and how this notion of world literature either includes or excludes certain literatures that you bring in as peripheral literature. So the first thing you need to do in this assignment in the video essay is to unpack the terms. So you've got to unpack sorry. So you've got to unpack each term needs to be unpacked, you know. So you need to define each key terms in this context, and the two main key terms in this context would be the peripheral is not here. Okay, never mind.
Oh yes, correct.
So you need to define the key terms. How is world literature defined? Are you looking at world literature from Goethe's point of view, from Damrosch's point of view, from any other more recent scholars of comparative literature, specifically from the Eastern school? So this is where this is you demonstrating the critical review part of your topic, meaning you are bringing in as many scholars that you find relevant in order to define and problematize and conceptualize the two main key terms of your presentation, which is world literature on the one hand and the peripheral literature on the other. So, you know, I like your visualization of it. I like how you kind of like conceptualize it visually. So because I'm a visual learner as well. So, you know, when you think about peripheral literatures, are you talking about peripheral as in they are on the margins? They are still within the center? Are you talking about peripheral as in you know, that, you know, they are completely outside the center? So this would be the world literature, if you like. So this would be the peripheral literature, right? But this is also peripheral literature, and this is also peripheral literature, right? So you've got peripheral literature maybe within world literature. That means they have somehow managed to be included, such as the text that you've identified because it's won awards, right? So by definition, how would you define world literature? And by definition, does that definition incorporate novels that have won certain awards? You know, and then there are those that are emerging. They are also on the peripheral. Then there are those that are making enough of a mark, maybe not one enough of a recognition in terms of award, but it's beginning to come into the canon of world literature, at least in the 21st century. Then there are those that are really very prominent, maybe as a national literature, prominent in their nation state, but has not garnered enough recognition for it to be incorporated into the canon of world literature. So that's the assignment. That's all
Okay.
you need to do for assignment 1,
All
which is to do a critical review by discussing it, by debating about it, by problematizing it, by also bringing in as many scholars. Of course, here I say at least 3. So you may bring in more than 3,
Okay.
right? So the other bit that you are interested in, the second bit that you are interested in, which is to compare these two novels, you are in fact doing assignment 2.
Oh, am I? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So don't be sorry. So you've already started, looking at assignment 2. So what assignment 2 allows you to do is to take the conversation that you have started in assignment 1. If you play smart, you can in fact put the pieces together gradually. So assignment 1 does the first part, assignment 2 does the second part, and together they make a whole journal paper, right?
Oh,
So that's if you kind of problematize it clearly and structure it in your mind clearly, the 2 assignments pulled together allows you a journal publication, which you can expand for your final project. Because
right.
assignment 1 is a video essay, assignment 2 is a seminar, is an oral seminar. Okay, I'm not expecting a write-up. But if you put the 2 together and you expand on it and you make it critical enough, you can expand that and you have your final project. So technically, you've got all 3 assignments done just with that draft that you've shown me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right. So this
Right.
is how when when the interest meets hard work and it kind of like gels together, you are able to see the entire output of that one course materialize. Okay, so my initial thought is, number 1, focus only on this component, the burden of peripheral literature, a critical review. Just
Okay.
do that. That's the title. Okay. So in order for it to be a true critical review, in order for it to be a true critical review, you need at least 8 to 10 citations. Okay, so what that means is how, like I said, break down the constructions of world literature. Maybe you want to look at world literature from the late 20th century, because later on, when you are looking at the final project, if you plan to bring the 2 together, you need to clearly construct the notion of world literature to fit the corpus that you have identified.
All right.
Okay, because the corpus you have identified is not just this one novel. My Name is Red. It's not just this one novel. Orhan Pamuk's repertoire goes back to the 1970s. So you're looking at Pamuk you're looking at My Name is Red as a representation of Pamuk's entire corpus. Yes, he won the Nobel Prize in Literature at a particular time in his career, but that was a reflection of his entire canon. So Pamuk was not well known from the beginning. It wasn't like it wasn't like this writer, Joka.
Joka Alhanti.
It wasn't like her work, you know. it's like Pamuk won a Nobel Prize and as well as the other prizes after a while. Okay, yes, they both translations of works because they're not in their original, not in Turkey and not in Arabic. But beyond that, it is comparing apples and oranges. You know,
Mm.
it's not comparing green apple with red apple. It's not even close because the reputation and the standing that Orhan Pamuk has established because of the years of struggling that he has had to go through and endure in order to create his body of work is not the same as Al-Harthi's journey, albeit it took it 10 years to get translated, as you have said here. So it's not apples and it's not green apple and red apple. It's
Mm.
not so. However, so I'm starting you on assignment 2. Once you're done with first assignment, you might as well just get started on assignment 2. Don't change your areas. Just get straight into it. Finish this course and then go on and do other more fun things for yourself with regards to research in literature. Okay, so so in order to do that, seminar, the second assignment, which is a seminar, allows you to engage 2 literary texts from 2 national canons. So you need to be able to situate both texts within a particular national canon, which you have. So you've got one within the Turkish canon. I'm glad you did not choose Alif Shafak, who is my favorite diasporic Turkish writer, more so than Orhan Pamuk, because I have his novels because when I went to Istanbul a few years ago, I visited his museum and all that.
Oh, that's my dream. Yes.
Was brilliant, especially if you've read the novel and you go to that
Yes.
3 stories and you see all the artifacts and the painstaking way in which he constructed the museum.
Mm.
That's brilliant. But as a writer, because I'm the kind of a reader that I am, I'm more inclined towards Alif Shafak's style of
Yeah.
writing. Okay, so I'm glad you didn't choose Shafak because Alif Shafak would be more diasporic. She
I
doesn't
heard about that.
she doesn't situate herself within the Turkish and Istanbul, specifically Istanbul sensibilities. Whereas with
Mm.
Pamuk, his writing is very much dripping with the landscapes of Istanbul specifically and Turkish mindset and consciousness generally. So in that sense, you can situate My Name is Red as well as Orhan Pamuk within Turkish literary canon. Likewise, you need to see whether Celestial Bodies is situated within the Omani literary canon. How well is it received by the Omani readership? How well is it received in terms of its whether it echoes the voice of the nation? Whether it because Pamuk is very much celebrated
Yeah.
as a Turkish writer. So again, it's not apples and apples right now, and neither do you want it to be apples and apples. The fact that they are both fruits, they are both novels, they are both, the genre is the same. It's not so much that they have won awards and how quote unquote popular they are. It's not so much that. For the second assignment, it invites you to bring 2 literary texts from 2 literary canon and be able to see whether or not they are compatible, and if so, how do you compare them, and what kind of a parameter do you use to compare them? So in doing so, you may find that the text choice might not work. You might find that they don't suit, they don't fit in terms of
Mm.
comparison. So because of that, you may choose a different text, either something else to compare with Pamuk's novel or something else to compare to Celestial Bodies. So second assignment, you can start thinking about it and having your own set of questions. Now let's have a look at the questions. Your questions, okay, first of all, I'm not familiar with celestial bodies. So does celestial bodies, I forget what you said just now. Did you say it is within the Ottoman context? It is not, right?
Oh, no. My Name is Raid is supposedly historical fiction.
Yes.
Celestial Bodies is basically lives of contemporary Omani Muslimas, arranged marriage, domestic lives, marital relationships, written in a surrealistic tone. So, yes. So the word domestic appears a lot in a lot of the reviews of the readers, domestic. So, yes.
So maybe you want to compare Celestial Body with another of Orhan Pamuk's works that corresponds
Oh,
to the themes in this particular novel.
mm,
That could be one, or you may choose to maintain this if you want to look at the historical depiction of a nation's civilization in fiction. You may choose another work of literature that does the same thing, that revisions history from a narrative perspective, from a fictive perspective. So then you're looking at revisioning. You're looking at how Pamuk revisions the Ottoman Empire's civilization, as well as the past, the glories of Turkey in his novel, and look at another writer who does the same for his or her nation's civilization. So then it's more equal footing. So you want
mm,
two novels for this second assignment. For this second assignment, you want two novels that is equal in terms of what they are doing in each context, what they both
okay.
are trying to achieve through their storytelling. And then you bring the two together, and then you ask yourself specific questions. What's the theme that allows you to compare these two texts? How are the two texts comparable? And what kind of an impact can you achieve by making them comparable? Keeping in mind what we talked about in the first few lectures about how a work of literature is more impactful by the sheer nature of its comparable status, or its ability to be
Yeah.
compared with another great work of literature. You had Matthew Arnold's quote. You have various quotes about that idea of the importance of comparing a work of literature with another. Not so much to show that, not so much like this, in terms of one is it has won awards, one has higher. It's not about comparing it to show which is better. It's rather to show that they are both important in their own literary canon, right? In the
Mm,
Turkish canon, in the Omani canon, or whichever literary canon that you are investigating, they are both equally of value. But when you are bringing them and comparing them, the significance of the story being told in this way, the issues being expressed in this way, allows for a greater depth of study. So it's not the X and Y, X in Y kind of a comparison, right? But it's beyond that. So this assignment allows you to show how crossing national borders allows literature to do more than just tell a story. It connects us through history, through time. It connects us somehow through our storytelling. Now, if you choose to expand that seminar into your final project, that's the focus, the art of storytelling. So how does storytellers engage history? How does storytellers bring the readers from, no matter what your context is, because you're
mm,
not Turkish, you're not Omani, but you got those stories. You could relate to the storytellers in that story, the narrators of those stories. So what exactly what exactly is the value of storytelling today in the 21st century, and how does the art of storytelling engage the discipline of comparative literature. So this final project kind of brings your interest to kind of took a nice wrap. You know, it allows you to take the discussion to that level where the theme that I'm proposing is a more general and overarching theme, which is the art of storytelling, as opposed to here you decide. So if you want to work on the issue of domestication, or the theme of domestication of identities, for instance. So this is something specific, looking at the micro level. And the final project allows you to go macro and look at how these two texts, in fact, problematize the art of storytelling in the 21st century. Something like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, that really makes sense. Now I understand that what I want to do may not have to be compressed in assignment one alone. I think I have a lot of ideas. So yes, so what I understand is that assignment one is how I lay the foundation of my theories, so to speak. So I do not need to mention Pamuk or other writers yet. So yes, but then I will focus on functions of peripheral literature, uh, comparing
You
to work.
may bring in Pamuk as a kind of examples that others are citing. So, for instance,
Uh,
when you define world literature and when you define peripheral literature, maybe there are scholars who have cited a great number of works of fiction and authors, and Pamuk is one of them. Does Pamuk fit within the peripheral context? Does he fit within the world literature context? Has he always been part of the world literature canon? So what are scholars saying? That's why it's a critical review,
okay.
right? A critical review requires you to read greatly and broadly and kind of synthesize that in your presentation. So
Or
your original take on it comes in a form of maybe hypothesis, maybe comes in the form of your conclusion. It is not a critical essay. A critical essay or critical piece would be your contribution, your original contribution. So the first assignment should be less challenging in a sense, because it's all it's asking you to do is to synthesize what others have said and to find the gap as well as the significance of what others have said. The second and the third assignment allows you to kind of introduce original thoughts based on the corpus that you want to introduce.
okay,
All right.
all right. So yes, so I'm clearer with how to get started or how to lay it together. So it is a video essay, so you do not expect any written work.
For the first one,
For the first one, yes. Do
yeah, so
you?
you're not submitting any write-up, but in order to present the video essay, you would probably draft it in a form of an essay.
Yes.
You may narrate, you may do a voiceover to your video, you may have PowerPoint slides, you may do a kind of a voiceover, you may even talk through some of the
Oh,
things, but all that comes from a write-up that you have prepared, right? But
yes.
that write-up you don't submit to me as an essay, you submit to me in a form of a video or a digital essay like this, like a more engaging, visually more engaging, and maybe auditory more engaging, you know, uh, um, that captures the essence of your essay, that captures what you have written out, but you don't submit it in black and white like that. So it's a lot more fun, in a sense that it's a lot more fun because you can then share it on your social media, you can get the conversation going. You know, people don't really want to read essays much nowadays. They prefer to kind of just watch a short video that expresses what exactly you are trying to say. So I'm in fact getting you to flex that muscle. They're saying
Mm,
that, I have a lot of things to say. Now, where else can I say it besides posting it on Goodread, or my review on this particular website, or on a blog? maybe I can even do video essays for my the things that I've read, the novels that I'm reading, and I post it on my YouTube channel and make it available. So suddenly you become part of the conversation, and that's what's happening in the
Ah,
21st century. You notice a lot of people, especially on YouTube, a lot of people are spending time reviewing. They've got their top 10 novels for best
yes.
young adult novels, best this and best that genre, and people make a lot of effort there.
Mm,
And that's where people go to as well to get a sense of, okay, what can I read next? I've got some
mm.
time to spare. What can I read
I
next?
was I was very I was very shocked because I came from I was trained legally, so this video essay I was very shocked. Oh my god, I didn't expect essays because I was so used to being very technical about text. So yeah, so this is something. The execution of it, the style of it, is something that I find quite new and something that I must learn as well. So hence, when you mention for assignment one, all the citation is just presenting it via a video. That is it. Oh,
Yes. Yeah. I'm not
all right.
expecting you to kind of show the quotations, but in order for you to arrive at these statements, you needed to have gone through a lot of citations, at
Yes.
least 8 to 10 works, if not more, right? But later, Ruby, later when you convert this into your final assignment, you will update that. You will
Yes.
you will you will improve on it. You will strengthen it, which is why it's like 20%, 20%, and then 40%. So if
Yes.
you put it all together, you get the total 80% of it. But it's broken up into sections so that you can spend equal amount of time for each section, because each section is as important as the analysis. The critical review is as important as the analysis.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, I think there will always be a working essay throughout the semester. That is,
Absolutely.
so I'm just going to start preparing on that. I think yes, I think I found my theme already because I have all of these novels and it is something that I am very interested in. But I think I will replace Celestial Bodies with um, a lot more canonical work by other writers. I hope, because I'm trying to avoid looking for someone who's not from the same geopolitical uh, area. But yes, so
But
yes,
just to since you've got a lot of choices, just to kind of keep the interest level at a high momentum, maybe for the seminar you want to do a celestial body with something equal in terms of billing. And then
mm.
maybe for the final project, then you want to do that Orhan Pamuk's My Name Is Red with something
Oh,
canonical.
oh,
So
so
that
they
could be
yeah,
some,
so they
yeah.
they don't have to revolve around the same writers. Assignment two and three. All right,
They
then.
don't. So you can look at the assignments as three separate assignments, but at the same time, you can look at it as one collective whole that you're just breaking it up into three sections. So it's your choice. But if you've got a lot of ideas, I would say take two other corpuses for the seminar and take another two. The two for the final project, try to take something that you feel you can write a lot about, because it's a 4,000 plus essay, which is around 15 to 20 pages. So you want to have two corpus that really engages you, that you've got a lot things to say, and original, that you may even convert into a journal paper.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
we'll talk
Like the
more about
first
the
the,
final
the
assignment.
first name that came to mind is Nakib Mahfouz, but he is, I find, too legendary. Nakib Mahfouz. But the thing is, I don't really enjoy his work. So I think I will be exploring more writers,
Yeah,
uh,
cool.
hopefully, of the same billing.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
No, that's all, Doctor. Thank you so much. This is really helpful. I feel like I've got something, and now it's a lot clearer, and I know how to proceed and how to shape, um, yeah, my ideas together. All right. So
Brilliant.
that's all, Doctor.
I'll send you the recording after this.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care. Have a
Bye.
good day. Thank you so much.